Welcome to Grounded in Motion.
Hello.
How are you guys doing?
How are you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you doing today?
I'm okay.
Cool. Drop a comment. Let us know how you're feeling. Sometimes the vibes are good. Sometimes it's a little bit of...
It's okay.
But that's why today's episode is going to be a little bit funny. And we're just going over some trends for 2025. What's kind of like on the rise in fitness and wellness. Not too surprisingly bad, right? The recommendations for this year?
No, I was happy to see the video you showed me.
Yeah, so it's a good thing. Things we've been talking about. And then we have some influencer critiques. We've been seeing some ads on YouTube. I have at least.
I see more of mine on the gram.
Yeah, so I have 2 ads and we're gonna just talk about them. You've probably seen them too.
I have not seen them, and she won't let me watch them until we go through it.
Yes.
So we're gonna have in real time reactions.
Yeah, there's one in specific that I held on to. So,
well, and it's just because you need to understand, like, we're consuming so much, and there's so much information, and the fitness world is so just inundated with information that when you look at it, it can seem, oh, so sparkly and new, and like, oh, I need to jump on that trend, but it's
how do we get there?
Brain fart. No.
Good context.
Unrealistic.
Yeah.
Like, I'm a 40-year-old woman. That's a 20-year-old body, right? Like, my body could have probably done stuff like that too, and looked much different 20 years ago. So that's something to think about. Like, and we don't think about that when we're scrolling. We're like, oh my God, look at that. I need to do that. It's this comparison.
Yeah.
But in reality, these beautiful influencers have probably not changed too many people's lives because they're young, because they're fit, because they have they were raised on social media. They were raised in this environment of filming and editing their whole lives. It's different than for myself.
Yeah.
And the general population of people just trying to, like, live their life, have fun, not be injured, have a good time, go out and hit some balls with their friends on the weekend, right? Like, so we're just going to talk about that kind of stuff.
Be healthy. Just be healthy, be happy.
And these people are just taking people's money, and it pisses me off.
We're about to get pissed off later, but let's talk about first, we've been talking about this, functional training, functional movement, training posture, training how you move in and out of training, both proprioception. We've spoken about all of this, and there's a pretty cool, like, news video clip, which is, it's cool to see in the news. It means it's reaching the general public,
Right.
So people, it's gonna get the word out. That makes me very happy,
And we're not talking like CNN or anything. We're talking small town news as opposed to, like, mass media.
Yeah. So it's pretty cool. I'm gonna get hooked up into my Wi-Fi really quick, but that's the video I'm gonna demo next. And we'll be talking about the functional.
It's really beautiful because they bring up things that just are going on in the fitness world that are really brilliant for all bodies, for everybody, whether you're a fitness fanatic or you're just a grandma wanting to hang out with the children, the grandbabies, hug them babies, and be able to play with them on the floor, to be able to pick them up and hold them and swing them around and be confident in those movements.
So this is what this video clip is about. And let's run it through. Let's play this one. Play it on my phone. There we go.
Great to see you both.
Yeah, great to see you too, Mary. Now, one of the things that gym goers are looking for this year is functional fitness. What does that type of training look like?
Functional fitness is really just mimicking the movements of your day-to-day life and working and focusing on increased strength, flexibility, and to reduce risk of injury when you're doing those. A great example of that is we were all out shoveling snow the last few days. So did we prepare our bodies to do some of those movements? Other things maybe even when we're traveling, are we equipped to be able to put our carry-on luggage up above on the overhead bins, or as some of us are becoming grandparents, can we lift that baby car seat now, or take the child out of the crib? So we're mimicking those movements of everyday life so we can reduce the risk of injury while doing those movements and enjoying life.
I feel like this time of year you hear
This is what me and Malia do all day.
All day. And like when you look up functional training, because it's also like a trendy word, like, ooh, this is functional training.
That's a perfect description of what functional training really means.
A type of exercise that focuses on improving movements and abilities that are essential for everyday life.
Yes. Now, like she mentioned, just putting the luggage up and carrying your own things without pain or discomfort, picking up your grandchildren. This is something that gardening, at all ages, I think now pain hits us in some way. Like Malia and I have discussed, even young people, because of the technology, their bodies are changing a lot. So I feel like even from young to older population, they all need some type of functional training, even in schools, I think. Just teaching the kids these important movement exercises that help their posture, that help them to kind of restructure their body after long periods of sitting in school. So I think I
have lots of opinions on that.
Yeah.
In the schools.
Yeah.
100%. They need to be learning about their physiology and how their body works in a much more broad and functional way as opposed to just a biology class. That's great and wonderful, and I'm not opposed to that. But they need to understand their physiology so they understand themselves, and then how to move about a gym, to go for a walk. Why are we going for a walk? What's happening in the mind? I've really been pushing Athena to walk more with me and Zeus. And she's like, I just feel better. And I was like, yeah.
What we're meant to do, it's what we're designed to do. Mm-hmm. I'll put a little clip of this podcast too, where it's Tom Myers discussing this.
If I look at the kids, because I call them kids because I'm in my 70s, that I'm working with in my teachers and in my students, some of them have just not developed basic body competencies in the youth that they were provided in their public schools or their cityfied environments that they grew up in, or suburban environments, that there simply wasn't the stimulus in there to stimulate KQ, which is kinesthetic intelligence. And that's what we're beginning to
running, walking,
and we're
doing organic movements is good for them. Being kids, yes.
It wasn't quite like this back in the day because kids just moved naturally more.
Yes. I know I'm struggling with my teenage half-brother who is on the phone a lot and is 15 years old. But at 15, I was not on the phone as much. My access to the computer, I'm 36 now, my access to the computer was sitting in the living room with my parents there, downloading one song for 1 hour. Oh my God. Slow dial-up.
LimeWire?
LimeWire. Yeah. Thank you. I'm going to put that on there too. Little clip on there. So that was our access and accessibility to information. But now it's just unlimited, and he's just completely, intensely absorbed into his phone. And it's just now teaching him how to have phone manners and phone etiquette. Mm-hmm. When to use a phone, when not to, when to put it on speaker, when to listen to what he's listening to loud.
Get me started on that speaker.
It's changed, but that's a whole topic. It's important going back why we need to implement this, or really strive in promoting this functional training, not super mobility stuff like we're going to talk about later.
Right.
There's functional exercises you can do that are accessible to everyone that'll help you move better.
Well, we used to have the gym challenges in school. Remember, you had to sit with the straight legs and climb the rope and do pull-ups, chin-ups.
Remember, they used to do like a competition.
Athena has there's none of that going on in their school.
I remember that was fun. Field day, was it?
Yes,
it was field day. It was like a competition type of thing.
Yes, it was put into like a field day type thing. You're right.
You're going through life, so it's helpful.
Yes.
It's good. It's nice that we talked about this. Make sure to check out the other podcasts Make sure to check out, we have a balanced exercise video that you can check out also.
Okay, so what's next?
Okay, so up next, we have AI stuff.
Oh, I thought we were going to talk about the cold plunge.
We are. I want to bring up the AI real quick. They also talk about it. I'm going to bring it up really quickly because now there's like AI program workouts, and now they have more trackers to track your routines. They're doing trackers on the machines now.
Great.
So they're going to start putting trackers in the exercise equipment that help to set your weight.
And what did it say? You like scan it or something?
Yes.
And so it's
Trends that are coming
presets.
with the fitness world. So let's talk about a new trend using AI. It's called smart circuit training.
Yes.
How on earth does this work, and how is it powered by AI?
This is fascinating because we've seen different personal devices that will track information, but now we are actually seeing equipment, strength training equipment that is using AI to improve members' abilities to track their workouts and their progress. So here's an example. I have a simple bracelet that once I've been onboarded to the equipment, when I now go to that piece of equipment, it scans my bracelet, it brings the equipment down to the settings and adjusts the weight for my individualized workout. So I don't have to wonder, what am I supposed to set this at? How many reps am I supposed to do? Because it also brings in some gamification. So you're like eating these little chips like Pac-Man, and it teaches us pace and also gives us resistance. So it's great for beginners and those that are looking to accelerate their training. So it makes it really simple, and now you don't have to think about it or log your workouts. It's
wild.
And the more you use it, the more data it collects on you and makes your workouts more efficient.
And so it
scan it.
presets.
Yes, I'm thinking it's an app. If you're part of the gym, they're going to put you on this app, and then you're just, the more you go to the gym and the more you're connected to these machines and working out on them, it's going to track you better. It's going to tell you, like, it's going to track your progress. As a
Variables and pace.
variables and pace and repetitions, and it's going to make recommendations on the increase of weight and the repetition count also. I have to look much more into that, but honestly, being a tech nerd, a gamer, I like kind of AI stuff. Sometimes, it has its plus and it has its negative. I think that's actually really cool. I think it's cool. If you have it in the gym, I want to go and get on the machine and I want to see what my progress. I actually don't track myself like that when I go work out. I increase also depending. So it'll be cool to see how I'm doing depending on what days, how much I rested. I think it would just be cool to give you information and data on your workouts. I think it'll help you ramp up your workouts and help guide you in your workouts.
So how do you feel that is in our profession then when we're trying to work with?
I think it's going to be awesome. I'm going to track the hell out of you guys. I'm going to make sure you show me that app so I can know exactly how many reps you're doing at the gym. I'm totally going to take advantage of that, and then just
In it together. Yeah, for sure.
So, I don't know. How about you?
This is me. Did you take your electrolytes?
No. As long as it's not telling you.
What's going on?
Yeah, I don't believe it should be telling you what your workout should be.
Right, because it's so, it won't know you like that.
Depends on you, depends on your injuries. But if you're going to track my progress and help my trainer communicate and keep really good tabs on what I'm doing outside of, working with them, yeah, that's cool.
I can see what you're saying. I think I'm still a little behind on the AI. It freaks me out still a little bit.
Yeah, it does. Freaks people off.
But I do think like that, it could be beneficial to my clients. Be like, all right, here's our programming. Now you go to the gym one day, we work out twice, you work out once on yourself or once or twice. This is the programming.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And seeing
and then I know if you're like, I did it,
It's counting tempo also, they say.
Yeah.
I think that's cool.
And I think tempo is one of the most
important things,
important parts that is missed in our fields for sure.
So the future is rising. All right. And then I think that's good for AI stuff.
For sure. I feel complete with that.
Yeah. Next we have recovery.
I love recovery.
Yeah.
I have my own sauna and cold plunge.
Yeah. She does.
I think recovery is so needed. And there's always a caveat to this for me. when we are experiencing high chronic stress, sauna, as good as it is also a stressor, and cold plunge is a huge stressor to the body. So I think all of those things are good in the right spaces and the right times. It's really important to not, like when shit hit the fan and I was really like next level stress, first thing I took out was my cold plunge and then my sauna. It was just too much.
Yeah, because
Like
you
I
have
had to change and adapt. And I think we get stuck in like, I need to do this and this is the programming or this is it.
Yes.
And we have to remember that our life fluctuates. And so our routines and needs need to fluctuate. Right. I had to go back to a lot of yin yoga, restorative yoga, those kinds of things, which are great.
Yoga.
So recovery is really important. I'm all for the cold plunges. Now, I don't like cold plunges at 39.
No, I don't do it at 39. I do it at 50.
None of that shit. Yeah, 50. I like 65 is good. 60 is good. Like 50.
Yeah,
I don't
50.
need none of that crazy stuff. That's too much for my body in the state that I'm in right now.
Yeah.
And even before then, and I started at 70, right?
Yeah.
And then I walked down to 65 and then 60.
Yeah.
Take my time because,
I like the cold plunge. The sauna, I'm not a fan of. It's not for me.
Favorite.
I'm burning up most of the time.
Oh,
I'm very hot. I'm always
hotter.
So the cold plunge is helpful in bringing down, feels like a lot of internal heat sometimes.
Are you a pitta in Ayurveda?
Probably, yes. A lot of heat, So it depends on everybody. Yep. I will not stick myself in the sauna because I cannot tolerate any more heat. I'll be like,
I love it so much.
Yeah, so the cold plunge. Sauna cold plunge has many benefits. I'll put them up here at a physical level. Remember, watch your stressors, like Malia recommended. There's a time and a place for everything.
And I think restorative and yin yoga is another.
You read my mind. I was going to go right into that. So
meditations.
Yes, let's get into that really quick since we're talking about recovery. I would love to talk about yoga. I'm a very, 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 very big yogi. In practice, in personal.
Mm-hmm.
Not public anymore. I don't teach public yoga anymore. So.
I don't either.
Neither does Malia. But I think that's when sometimes we believe in yoga the most, when we're like, you know what? We're not even going to teach it. This is our personal stuff. We're going to enjoy this at a very deep personal level. So
100%.
So yes, yoga is there. For us, it has this ancient order of operation, which works. It's studied now. It's broken into different pieces. Everybody wants to take it apart and do its thing. I'm going to put up the limbs here so you guys can see what the limbs entail, something very basic. But Malia and I, we follow through all the way to the last limb. In practice, in spirituality, in our physical asana. So that is why we mentioned that yoga is very beneficial, like you said, yin and restorative. And for me, yoga has saved my life, has saved Malia's life, has saved a lot of people's life. Not just through movement, but through practice and spiritual disciplines and topics and stuff like that.
100%. And I think foundation training is a great recovery day practice. Yes. It's also an embodiment practice. Like it's very focused inward. It's very focused on you and your breath and what's happening in the body. And I think it's a good way. We need more active recovery, but not a full on. Like
that is a really good active recovery style. Once again, it has a lot of isometric and gentle dynamic movement, meaning you're not going to be moving a lot. You're going to be focusing on what is happening
and
which
breathing.
Is very good, and breathing. So you're going to be hyper attentive, which helps you take thoughts out of the mind. If you're just kind of at the gym and you're going kind of, you may still be thinking about a lot of stuff. So you want to do something that really draws your focus when things start to get a little bit out of line in the mind and stressors start really coming in. If it's not physical injury and it's other stressors that are happening, you want to refocus the mind, whatever type of technique you may be doing. Also, Qigong, Tai Chi is very good.
I'm going to see Barbara O'Neill. Do you know who she is?
No.
Oh, she is in this incredible, I just want to say like a book of knowledge of more holistic homeopathic remedies and stuff like that. and mind-body connection and all of that. And she is in Jupiter tomorrow for her she's been here all week. I didn't know. Most of them were sold out, but there's a spot
Okay.
tomorrow, and it's all on the mind. It's her lecture on the mind. So I'm so stoked to drive up and see her tomorrow.
These things are important. This is part of recovery. The mind is a big part of recovery, as we've spoken before in the breathing podcast. So make sure you get your minds right.
Keep it right. Keep it tight.
Keep that focus. Practice a discipline that allows you to drive that focus,
Just to look under the hood, as you would always refer to a car.
Shoo.
Any of our recovery requires us to dig in.
And yeah, it's whether physical
Cold
or
plunge.
emotional.
Yep, absolutely. Cold plunges, you were in it. You were so present.
I am so, and when I do that cold plunge, it's
Same in the sauna. Like sauna is pretty easy to like divert early on, but then when that time you're like, okay, how am I going to last these 5 minutes? It's a little bit more of a drawn out process.
Yeah.
As opposed to, for me,
Yes,
the cold plunge.
Yeah, I'm definitely a heat, so cold.
Now I need to know what your dosha is in Ayurveda.
Yeah, who knows? Is there something higher than a pitta? Because I'm literally catching on flames sometimes. Not emotionally, but it's muscles and physically.
That's good though.
Yeah.
For sure. Okay, so recovery.
Recovery is taken care of.
And that was part of like the fitness trends. That's one of them. Like people are really starting to focus this year on the recovery because you can't beat your body up and hit the gym 6 days a week without hitting a wall and not making progress, actually.
Yeah. She speaks about it. I'm going to also put that clip on there because she brings it up.
Yeah, I love that. What else is trending?
What else is trending? Well, now we have the influencer critique.
Oh, yay.
Because we already did very important AI tracking, the functional training, and the recovery, which I think is huge. I think this is great. This is not Pilates. This is not random trendy shit. This is actually good shit that we're talking about. Good stuff. So good information out there. And we'll add all of this.
Do you have a problem with Pilates?
Do I have a problem with Pilates? I have a problem with... I'm not a Pilates instructor, and I know more about Pilates and the history of Pilates than most girls that teach Pilates. Like, I just need teachers to have just... It's kind of like knowing the history in exercise, in the exercise industry, knowing how gyms started, knowing, who started Pilates. And all these things all get broken down into other stuff. But knowing what the source is always, like knowing your sources in yoga, it holds like that. It's a foundation. It's like knowing history. It's like, it's good.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
So I'm not against it. It's just better education. I feel like everybody needs to be well informed on movement, posture, mechanics. So
there's great yoga teachers. There's bad yoga teachers. There's great Pilates instructors.
It's how deep your knowledge goes in terms of understanding the human body and not like hyper obsessing about the exercises you teach, but understanding how the body functions, how the human moves, what causes imbalances, what to avoid when there's injuries, and then picking the best exercise of whatever it is you're into, Pilates, right? And then applying it to that person's needs, or making a class sensible so it can be a positive, so it can have a positive effect on the students' bodies. So I think classes should be well structured. I think they should be intentional. The movement should be intentional and accessible to everyone. And it doesn't have to be easy, and it doesn't have to be overly difficult.
Mm-hmm. Doesn't have to be super fast either.
No. So it's not against Pilates or yoga teachers. The more you know your basics, the more you're going to be able to master your trade. So be a master Pilates by mastering your knowledge on the human body and the way it moves. Ew.
Ew.
So speaking of styles, because we're about to talk about an instructor now. I don't know who this is. We should do this one first because the next one is a little bit lighter. Ilana's method.
Okay.
Wait, let's do this. Play it. Wait for it. This is a great way to start a critique, by the way.
Okay.
The volume must go up high. I'm going to put the volume off full force so you guys can just feel the intensity of this ad right here.
With the Ilana one.
Ilana.
That wasn't Facebook. That was the middle one.
No.
Okay. So I'm turning it up. It's called Spinal Awakening, and it's Alana's method. Oh, here we go.
Have you ever wondered what it would be like to be limitless? Like in the movie, except without the pill or side effects of rapid aging. And to feel every neuron firing and every cell lighting up and throbbing with life. And to begin and turn back time. My name is Alana Bissonette, and I want to share with you my greatest discovery, where it took me and many others, so that you know what's possible for you. And I want to show you how you can turn your power switch on and tap into your limitless potential.
All right, so where's the link?
It's just a mess. This is just this should be illegal. I'm surprised it's not illegal.
I'm just really confused. Were we selling a exercise program, a weight loss program,
The Fountain of Youth.
flexibility
It's
program,
the Fountain of Youth
or
program.
porno? Because all of that was combined into that one video.
The interesting part is that I told
Oh,
Maria,
she has an Instagram.
I don't know how I dove into this. Oh yeah, pull up her Instagram. We're gonna critique it now. We're gonna look at it together. But I ended up looking up, who this person was. I'm trying to find out information. Nobody knows her age. Nobody knows who she is. You go on her website and it's like immediately you have to input your email. Like you cannot bypass it. I found another YouTuber that I think she pulls up like scammers, or she was doing an in-depth review on this young lady here, this young woman.
Just letting you know that it is a scam, so please don't get caught into this. And just to cover some points, if you're interested, I did some background check on her. She doesn't have any online presence at all. There's no information on her personally or about her business. You can't find where it's located.
And highlighted how she was kind of bullying women for money, and like it's like a group meeting that they have initially. And I'm gonna put that YouTuber up. I'm gonna put some clips on her right now so you guys can hear her.
Orgasmic life force rippling through her spine.
So women are really like on Reddit, like the girls are like, I just have to try this. Like they're considering
It's like extreme flexibility.
Yeah, they're considering, like they see this advertisement, they feel like they're gonna get their life back, and they're like, I need to at least just like take, like having that hope that it actually
So this
is
girl
real.
says, oh my God, it's so intense. And then this Alana woman says, I know it's so good, right? So that is like so dangerous to do to people.
Her moves are absolutely impossible.
I can feel my leg tingling. Yes, because of the position of your spine and your body. That's why you're feeling these things tingle. That is not... I felt like I orgasmed while she was doing the splits.
Where are you getting these comments? On social?
This is on her social media.
Let me see.
It's a
Hold
video.
on, girl. I can't.
Unlocking the chemistry of bliss. The chemistry of bliss. No, that's your physiological response, and the tingling sensation was
This is
probably your
absolutely
femoral nerve.
dangerous. Do not try any of this. I am not at this level flexible. I am
used to
young. Not even. I can still do some of that. But this is someone who has training from before when she was a child. My training started at a much advanced age at like 24, I would say 23, training not just movement, but training flexibility.
Mm-hmm.
I'll put videos where I am working on high level ranges.
But you have the strength to back up those high level ranges.
But there's something about people who have taken gymnastics, ballet. They have modified their body from a very small age where their structure has changed because of the training that they have given them.
Mm-hmm.
Like ballet dancers, gymnasts, rhythmic gymnasts. These girls have to go through a torturous training at a very young age. to break into these structures. So there's nothing on her. Maybe she's a rhythmic dancer, gymnast, high level gymnast, and she was little, and now she's telling you that you can do this, and this is not realistic. Like I said, I have high level of ranges, but I started much later, and my ranges will never be at this level because I was not broken into at a small age in this type of training.
Well, when the body was way more malleable and strength trained in those ranges at a very young age. And also some people just have more flexible bodies. Like I worked with a dance teacher who, because of the structure of her pelvis, she could sit with her legs out to the side, but it was merely because of her structure. She actually had a hard time doing front splits because of the structure of her pelvis. And I think those are the things that no one talks about is like in yoga when we're doing twists and trying to do binds. If you have short arms, I may never be able to bind.
She's talking about she's working with a 60-year-old. She talks a lot about this.
Mm-hmm.
Do not trust this. Very dangerous information. When we talk about the spine, we talk about injuries. We don't talk about the spine like we're going to make some magic happen in it. So when we talk about the spine, we talk about how to avoid injuries and how to recover from them structurally and in a safe way. We don't talk about how it's going to be a miracle juice for your spine. So this stuff does not work, honestly. If you want this straight up honest truth, you're not going to get results that way. This person is probably trained from a very young age in flexibility. She doesn't disclose her age, She doesn't disclose her technique and what she does. And
she was definitely some kind of dancer or gymnast or something, just by the way she moves.
Yes. And then Malia and I do this. We are trained to visually do a visual analysis, and sometimes we can tell what sport the person does if they sit for long periods of time. If you do martial arts, because you have a stand in a martial arts stance, we can notice these type of things. So you can definitely tell she has some type of training in.
So what did she just say? I think this is really important.
I'm just going to be rolling stuff on this. It's for my girls out there.
Falling in love with good pain.
Danger. The only pain I want to feel is the delayed onset muscle soreness from weight training and resistance training in my muscles.
She just called the base of the spine the lumbar region.
Malia is having a meltdown. She's nervous. I feel you. So yeah, be careful, be safe. The next critique we have is not as intense. This is a lot. This is fraud, crimes against people who have hopes to feel better. So don't fall for this. Right, Zeus? You being a good boy? Tell him don't fall for that shit.
Okay.
What else is this girl saying?
All right. That's all I got for her. And not to rip her apart,
okay, tell me. You gotta say something because I've said enough already. She stayed there. So say something.
No, I'm done. I'm done with her. Look, my screen is back to, I'm going to the email so we can look at the other one. A beautiful face and a skinny body will sell any hope, like you said. And a few good marketing tips are going to sell hope.
God damn.
And inspiration.
It's hard to be honest. It's like, look, you're false and you lie and you fake sell, and you got tons of girls going crazy trying to take a peek at what an orgasmic spinal awakening is.
Yes, yeah. If you related that to Kundalini rising, Kundalini rising is a rising up of energy. I feel like
Kundalini is brought up in every single episode.
Well, you're really into Kundalini energy.
I don't like Kundalini, but I don't know. That's another topic.
That's another topic.
Okay, so we have another critique. Watch out what you watch, please. Careful, we're gonna have fun with this episode. I'm gonna have mad edits here.
They are observations of where people could get roped in.
Yeah. The next one's not too bad, but I
Do
have
your
clients
thing.
sending me this.
Your clients sending you this?
Yeah, my client's sending me this one. I've seen her a lot too popping up. She does have ads going, so.
Depth is
Oh, she's in
bad.
Australia.
Make sure you're improving
The
your
Australian
mobility so
squat
that you're
girl.
able to squat full depth.
Okay, so
If
but I
you're
do have a problem. Like she said,
constantly
it's bad
doing
for your knees. It's not bad for your
this,
knees. Lots of people can
or
only
even
squat to
things
90.
like this, you will then
90
lose
is
the
like
ability
such a
to
beautiful
do
place
like
to squat
this,
to.
But that's where the promises
things like
come in.
this. And
And the
even
things you
things
are
like
doing
this.
are
in reality, there
advanced
is no perfect
mobility
alignment
movements. Like
because
you're
movement is
working on this for a really
unpredictable,
long time to
sport
get
is
there.
unpredictable, even
And they
life
sell,
is
this is my problem. They sell it
Mobility
like,
is
you're going
not
to take my course and be
only
able to
about
do
being
this.
able
No,
to
she
do
has
core
worked,
tricks,
well, again, she's
flips,
much younger.
and
She's
various
probably in her
suggestive
20s, late
poses.
20s, I would assume. If I had to
Mobility is
guess.
first and foremost
She's extremely
about
flexible,
health and longevity,
which is fine
so
because
that
she
you can
could
have
be younger.
resilient joints, so that you can have flexible muscles, so that you can
And I
train
agree that we all need
without
resilient
the fear
joints
of getting
and
injured,
flexible
and so that
muscles.
you can heal past injuries. So,
And I do
mobility
agree
is
that we
there
need to
to
train
help
without
us
the
feel
fear of getting
amazing in our
injured,
own body,
1000%.
to be able to express
And so she's
ourselves
talking
through
about
space,
mobility.
and to be able to do this for a long
But hers is
time
just
to
extreme.
come.
And
You
I
wanna
don't,
be a
not,
broken
I do not agree
vegetable
with the
here.
telling people that
This
squatting
mobility
half
protocol
to 90
is
is
designed to fit
gonna bad for
seamlessly
your
into
knees.
your current
You're
training
getting that
and
hip
daily
hinge.
life.
Remember, the
So you
hip
can
hinge is that more modern squat that they're talking about now. So it's safer. The hinge is always safe. You know, keep your knees. You should be mastering the hinge before you master any of that. So curious to see what the program entails. This is one that I would actually like purchase and really see what it's about. See what her technique is to help you get there, because it doesn't just happen. She has a lot of drills that she's going to have if she's actually expecting
Yeah, it's
on getting
definitely
a
a
person
program.
there. You know, she has to have drills that, you know, break down.
Yes, and I think she was highlighting what her mobility training program could get you.
But can everybody regain that deep squat?
Do they need to? Do we need to squat ass to grass? Like, I just don't think that that's necessary. If you squat to 90, just slightly past 90, you're doing great. You can get off a toilet, you can sit down in a chair, you could probably pick something up pretty easily. That's what's important, not putting your ass down.
Yeah. Can knees who have had surgeries before get back to that range of motion?
Ass to grass motion?
Yes.
I haven't seen it, but I don't know
In
if
proper
it's,
form like her, because she's also in great form.
Yeah, she has great form.
I did not critique anything about her form.
What are we
Alana
selling?
is impossible because I will never get to this is more doable. If you buy a program, buy this one. I recommend. Definitely don't believe Alana. At least she'll get you to squat a little bit deeper.
Right. No, I think
So I've been seeing this one a lot. Could be good. Could be a very long program that you're going to be on for 3 years, because that's really what it takes sometimes to really achieve that perfect ass to grass, well-ranged squat. So,
and this guy's like, listen, I took this program and I can pick my grandkids up off the ground.
that's what I'm talking
That's
about.
what we're talking about. Do that. Yeah.
It's not going to be like her immediately. You're not going to get in a squat like that the next day. You're going to have to work for it.
I have it just because I've never lost it.
You're a yogi.
Mm-hmm.
I feel
and
like
I was a dancer.
I feel like yogis like.
And I was a dancer though too. So I had that ingrained flexibility for a long time. Now when I was a dancer and I had the flexibility, I didn't have the strength. So I was riddled with energy and injuries.
My dad did marble and tile, and he worked that way. And got deep
Work
squat.
like that. Yep.
And deep
And
squat.
when you watch babies, how do they?
They deep squat, yeah.
They deep squat. It's beautiful.
So, yeah, it takes a lot. I have a video on YouTube about deep squatting. I talk about proprioception, practicing the squat, or practicing picking up objects to the best of your ability during the day, which is going to help you every minute of the day that you are moving to progress towards that squat, because you have to start practicing it on the day-to-day living activities, because you're not going to be doing drills all day.
It's my favorite to get into the deepest squat possible, holding onto a rack or a wall or whatever.
That's doable for
and
anyone.
breathing.
Yeah.
Focusing on the breathing into the back body, like really leaning back into it and taking some breaths. That's one of my favorites. That's usually most people's homework.
Squats, good for you. Will you get there tomorrow? No. 3 years? I would say yes. If you're committed to it. So anything else you want to cover? What time we got? We got like 5 more minutes.
Oh, I think
Next podcast is intense. This one's chill, taking a break, you know?
Yes, the next one we are
Sometimes-
studying and researching and delving
Yes.
into a little bit more.
Next time we're going to go
Very
in,
excited about it.
because we're giving ourselves 2 weeks to go into this. Fascia intelligence, it's a lot, guys. We're studying a lot for you guys. This is the newest stuff, you know?
It's the newest
This is
in
what's
science.
trend. Yeah, this is what's really gonna.
This is also what's trending.
Not really what trending. This is what's gonna trend in like 4 years from now. This is gonna be hard trending. In 4
That's
years.
how up we are.
Yes. So
I'm really excited. It's so new, and I'm excited to see where it goes.
yeah, be patient with us. That one will be a little bit intense, but we'll have all the deets, all the research linked up. I'll probably post up another blog because I did a blog for one of our stuff, for the one that I did. So I'll be linking up a blog so we can have all the details. If you would just want to read it, you know, have it at hand.
Absolutely. And I mentored with Jill Miller, so I have all of
Perfect.
that. Yeah,
Good info.
techniques and stuff to release. We should do we should do a little one, like a little rolling class,
That'll be nice. Yes.
because it's so good. Like if people have a problem sleeping, I'm like, roll before you go to bed.
Yeah.
Roll
Smart, yes.
before you go to bed. It
those tissues
activates that
moving.
parasympathetic
Just to
nervous system, and of course, you're breathing. So yeah, that would be super fun.
Always a pleasure.
We love you guys. Thank you.
Thank you for joining, for listening. Hope you have fun. And we'll be back. I'll see you for the next one. Peace. Zeus was so cute.